Hello. All right, 5 people. Let's wait. For the sake of saking time, you hear me? For the sake of saving time, if I can learn how to speak English correctly, I put the vanilla cake in the oven and I set the timer for 25 minutes. So that's what I've done as I was preparing to continue on telling you the story about the first time I got high. Disclaimer, I am not high at the current moment. I am just high off of the energy that the house around us gives me. We're having a good time. This is all in good fun. So I'm not thirsty. I got two options. I drink something I shouldn't drink. I had alcohol here if I wanted to make a cocktail, but I don't really drink alcohol, so I don't know. But I'm gonna show y'all what y'all could have done if y'all would have wanted to drink alcohol. Y'all could have took this bougie glass, right? And you could have took ice. And you could have put Malibu rum. Pineapple and orange juice. Oh wait, no, this is cran apple and pineapple juice. And then you mix it all up and then it looks like this and then you drink it. If you wanted to make a bougie drink. All right, so now that the cake is in the oven, let's work on the other components of the dish. I have some strawberries here. I need to wash my strawberries. So while I wash my strawberries, I'm going to continue on telling y'all the story. So basically, I was walking to the train. I had a pair of jeans on. Now, because we went out to the piers and I wanted to look cute, I made sure that I wore a faja panty. If you don't know what a faja panty is a support garment in a panty style. Now, this wasn't like your severe type of support panty. You ever seen like those support panties that are like, they have like boning and everything, or Spanx? No. This was like panties that had support built in it, right? So it went above the belly button and it was in a chocolate satin brown. Now these faja panties were so old that they had a hole across the belly button. And then over here in the crotch part where it connects to your inner thigh, the elastic was ripped completely off of the panty. So when you had to put on your panty, you had to make sure that you were sticking your foot right with the elastic and the panty put on one side, because if not, you will have the elastic hanging on this side like a little G-strap or a jock strap, and then the coochie part of the panty will be here. So that's how toe up to the flow up these panties were. And I was wearing them with jeans, right? So, boom. Fast forward, we're going to put the strawberries here. And I'm going to cut off the tops as I continue telling you the story so that we can continue on. So I'm going to cut off the tops. So I was wearing these jeans and I was wearing that crop vest hoodie top, right? And I had on these faja panties. So this navigator, blacked, decked out, came swerving. Mind you, this was probably like at 3 o'clock in the morning. Nope, I'm lying. This was like probably 2 o'clock in the morning. The thing came swerving out of nowhere. He ate a stop sign And what happens? It's like I'm crossing the street and he comes and he swerves like this. He hits me on my right side, which would in this reference be left. He hit me on this side. I flew from the impact so hard. I skidded. I flew in the air and skidded on the concrete so hard that the concrete from the impact ripped my jeans right off my freaking body. I kid you not. Then all I hear when I land on the ground like this, kapoo, right on my face, on my chin, and all of this is scraped. And I'm like, oh, all of this is scraped from the concrete, from the impact of getting hit by this Lincoln Navigator. I try to get up. I instantly get up. And like this person coming out of their car, they stop in the middle of the road and they're like, oh my God, I tried to get the guy's license plate. He drove off. Are you okay? And I got up and I was like, I'm fine. I just need to call the cops. And I start walking and she starts screaming. She's like, oh my God, you're bleeding. And then I start looking down. Let me tell you something. All of the skin on my thigh gone. Like it was scraped off. Like scraped off. And I remember when I saw the blood and I saw all of it scraped, I almost got like lightheaded and dizzy, and then I sat down and then almost like my vision went dark. It went dark. And then like my body was like trembling. And then all I remember was I heard the ambulance, and the ambulance coming to pick me up, and they took something to wrap me over and they put me in the back of the ambulance car, and then they drove me to the hospital. Oh my God. The story gets worse. So now I just got hit by a car, right? And I'm in the hospital. They take me to White Cough Hospital. If you from New York, you're familiar with that hospital. So they took me to White Cough Hospital. When I was in the hospital, they took me straight into the emergency room. And as soon as I went into the emergency room, the doctor comes in. My mother always told me, make sure you're wearing clean underwear when you leave the house. And make sure your underwears are good. Why is it out of all days in my whole entire life, the doctor who pulls the curtain at White Cough Hospital is this gorgeous, gorgeous Jewish boy, because he was so young to be a doctor. He was new, fresh out of college, fresh out of medical school. This Jewish doctor, he had like these brown like hazel eyes, and he had like the dark like wavy hair, and oh my God. I was like, and then he starts to pull down the blanket. Mind you, the jeans had ripped off my body, and all I had on was the faja panties that were shredded in the crotch part and then had the hole in the belly button part. And I'm like, oh my God, this doctor's so cute. Please, please just bring a nurse to get me like a little blanket. Please don't let this man see my panty. He's like, don't worry. You're my first patient. It's not a busy night. I'm going to take good care of you. I'm like, me jodí. This doctor is going to be here and he's going to see my panties. All right, well, I guess there's no going back from this. Let me finish cutting these strawberries. So now the doctor pulls back the sheets and he's like, he starts pulling out his scissors. And he starts cutting the jeans, right? And then not only is he cutting the jeans, he's cutting the jeans from the crotch part all the way down to expose this leg because all the skin is gone on this leg. And he's like, damn. He's like, so you got hit by a truck, I see. And I was like, yeah, I got hit by a truck. It literally ripped like my pants off. He's like, yeah, on this leg. And I'm like, yeah, also in the front like a little bit too, right? No, it was not ripped in the front where the faja was ripped. No, it was not from the impact. I was just trying to like get past the awkward moment because like he was cutting past the part that was ripped on the side. I was like, please, doctor, please don't look at the panties. Can you just look at my face right now? Because I can't believe that you're doing this. So then he's like, he's talking to me and this and the third, and he's like, well, luckily it's just the skin that came off. I'm like, lucky it's just the skin that came off. Okay, cool. Let's go for lunch after this, right? You know, you just gave me the biggest news of my life. It's just the skin that came off. We have skin for a reason. So if the skin is not there, I think that's the big problem. He's like, I'm going to give you a couple of shots in your legs. I'm going to put you on some antibiotics. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and wrap it because you have no skin there. And I'm like, no skin, yeah. And he's like, and then, you know, you should be fine. In a couple of weeks, just follow up with your primary doctor. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to put these strawberries in. Oh, my God, it almost fell on the floor. All right, I got to continue to cut these strawberries. Ew, I'm not excited about this. All right, so you're like, girl, what does this have to do with you smoking marijuana? I was not smoking marijuana when I got hit by the car. I had never smoked marijuana a day in my life. It was after I got hit by the car, but it really wasn't after I got hit by the car. So much I have to tell y'all, but let's just continue on. I'm going to throw away these strawberries, and I'm going to check on the cake. Oh, look, the cake is looking mad cute, but I know that I have 9 minutes on the timer, and I think I'm going to need probably like 3 extra minutes. So we good because we had 12 minutes. So let's clean the strawberries. So I heard that on TikTok, you're supposed to put salt in your strawberries and then put it in water to clean it the good way. So I'm going to fill up with water and clean it. Ew, look how much dirt came out of the strawberries. Oh my God, I never seen that. Look how much dirt came out of the strawberries. If you have not cleaned your strawberries in salt water, I'd recommend you clean your water and strawberries. You clean your strawberries in salt water because look how much dirt. I'm going to have to rinse that out and do it again. Oh my God. I never knew my strawberries were so dirty. That's crazy. Oh my God. Ew, look how fancy this is. It has like the little spray nozzle. That's crazy. All right. So now the doctor's giving me injections. He see my panty. He's mad cute. And I'm like, oh my God, whatever. So I go home. My homegirl calls me the next day. I call him homegirl, but his name is Giovanni. He calls me the next day and he's like, girl, what happened after you went home? I'm like, what you mean what happened? I got hit by a truck. He's like, what you mean you got hit by a truck? I'm like, I kid you not. I got hit by a truck and this cute doctor at the hospital in White Cough Hospital had to see me. He's like, I don't believe you. I'm like, come over and watch. You'll see that I got hit by a truck. So he comes over to see me at the shelter and he's like, okay, boom, let me see what happens. I'm leaning out like this, because I can't apply any pressure because everything's hurting. He's like, only you will get hit by a truck after I leave you. And I'm like, what you mean? And he's like, you didn't even drink. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't even drink. So how did I get hit by a truck? And he's like, yo, only you would do that. I had to take a sip. Oh my God, I need to clean this out too. Okay. So remember when I told you that the doctor, he put the gauze all over my leg and he was like, it should be fine? Well, fast forward 2 weeks after, right? 2 weeks after, me not knowing anything, I left the gauze on my leg. It gets worse. Let me figure out what I was doing. I'm going to slice these strawberries. So 2 weeks later, I never took the gauze off of my leg. I never took the gauze off. I never thought to take the gauze off because the doctor never instructed me to take the gauze off. So I had left the gauze on my leg for the whole entire 2 weeks. Now the gauze is looking bloody and dirty. And I'm like, I think this is going to get infected. I should remove this. So my friend Giovanni's like, yeah, I think you should remove it. It looks really dirty. And I'm like, you think? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to remove this. And he was like, yeah, I think you should do that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So as I'm trying to remove the gauze from my leg, I feel like I'm ripping my skin off my leg. So as I'm looking closer on the gauze, as I'm ripping it off, I notice that I'm ripping off my new skin with it. Oh my God. It was the most excruciating pain. So I literally was crying. Tears were coming down my eyes. And my friend Giovanni felt so bad for me. And he was like, girl, I don't know. What can we do to alleviate your pain? He was like, you want to get drunk and you need to rip that off? And I was like, no, I'm going back to the hospital. So I went back to White Cough Hospital and I go to the emergency room and I'm like, Dr. such and such saw me and something happened to my leg. They're like, oh, wow, the doctor's in. So boom, I'm waiting in the thing. I see the doctor and I'm like, doctor, look, the gauze is stuck to my new skin. What am I going to do? And he's like, oh, you were supposed to take that off after 3 days. I was like, well, you didn't tell me that. And he was like, did you read that pamphlet that they send you home with when you get discharged? And I was like, you didn't tell me to read the pamphlet. But whatever, you know how they give you those instructions? So basically it said it there that I was supposed to take it off, but I didn't read it. So it was my fault. So whatever. I was upset and basically I was like, well, can you take it off? And he was like, okay, yeah, I could take it off. So he starts trying to rip it off and I'm like, you're not going to like put me out? You're not going to give me no gas? You're not going to give me like no painkillers? And he's like, well, you know, your insurance doesn't cover that. This is not an emergency. And I'm like, oh, so it's not an emergency that you're about to rip off my new skin? Well, I need you to call Medicaid and I need you to call like Social Security. I don't care what you need to call, but I need you to like give me something for this. He's like, well, I'm sorry, you know, we can't really give you anything for it. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm leaving this gauze on. I don't care. I'm not pulling it off because it hurts. So I go back home and Giovanni's like, girl, we're going to have to pull this off because it looks dirty and it's going to get infected. So I'm going to pull it off for you. So he tries to pull it off for me and I'm like, ooh, it's hurting, it's hurting. He's like, okay, so we're going to get you drunk. He was like, we're going to drink 4 Locos. And then I'm going to take you to Pizza Hut. And I was like, ooh, you're going to take me to Pizza Hut? The one with the buffet on Jamaica Center? Wait, no, Jamaica Ave. If you guys are familiar with that one, you know that they had the best salad bar. And he was like, yeah, I'll take you to Pizza Hut. So I was like, okay. And it was hurting too much. So I was like, if I drink, I'm going to bleed out because alcohol thins out your blood. So he was like, girl, let's just smoke. I was like, I never smoked before. And he was like, okay, so I'm going to roll up a blunt and I'm going to call Maria and we're going to go smoke, right? So he calls our homegirl Maria, right? And Maria's like, oh my God, I was going to go to this boy's house. He lives in Queens. We could go smoke with him, right? And I'm like, oh my God, we're going to go smoke with this boy that we never met before. So we all take the train. Mind you, I got a busted leg. And they're helping me up the stairs and everything. And we go all the way to like some place in Queens to go smoke with this boy. We go to his apartment. And his apartment is a railroad style apartment. Where basically all the rooms like go with one through another. Like it's all like one one railroad of an apartment. And we in his room, and each room is separated by a blanket. And the kitchen has like that type of curtains that's all beads. All beads. Stop that. Stop. Let me check the cake. Oh my God, the cake looks so beautiful. I never seen that. Look how beautiful this cake look. Oh. Look how beautiful. Okay. I know that there's a toothpick somewhere here, but I don't know where it's at because I'm somewhere near. No. I should have been. Oh no. Ah! Oh shoot. So listen, here goes the toothpicks. We're gonna check the cake for doneness. Oh, it came out clean. The cake is good. We're gonna let the cake cool. Honestly, I wish I could put it somewhere where it could cool by a window, but hold on, I got something better. Oh, I hope y'all don't see in my butt. Did y'all see my butt? So listen, right? So now we at this boy's house. Now we at this boy house, right? And he's rolling up a blunt. So we all sitting on his bed, right? And he's playing Nintendo. He's playing Mario, like, you know? And he starts passing the blunt. My homeboy Giovanni passed me the blunt. And he's like, just pull it in, inhale it in your lungs. Like really inhale it and then let it go. So he passes me the blunt. I smoke it. And I start coughing up a lung. Like this type of like that. Like choking on this marijuana. And the guy's looking at me like, yo, your homegirl's good. Like, she already got a busted leg. Like, what's wrong with her? Like, what's the deal with her? And they're like, nah, she good. So my homeboy's like, all right, I'm going to give you shotties. If you're not familiar with shotties, that's when somebody smokes it and then they, like, put it in your mouth. Or they put the blunt, the lit part inside of their mouth, and then you take the other half and they blow the smoke in your mouth. So he starts giving me shotties. And I'm like, I don't feel nothing. So he's like, all right, F it. I'm going to like hotbox this. And he starts giving me shotty after shotty after shotty. Smoke it. And we smoked 3 blunts. Yo, when I tell you, when we was taking that cab back home, I felt like everything around me was like going in circles. And I felt mad hungry. And everything was mad funny. Like, everything was mad funny. Like, I don't even know how to explain to you. It was like, I can't believe we in a cab. I can't believe it. Like, I like hysterically laughing for no reason. And I'm probably looking stupid. And then I start feeling paranoid. And I'm like, I can't go back to the shelter like this. They gonna know. They're gonna know. And they're like, no, we're gonna take you back to my house. And we're gonna play some music. And then when you're good and ready, because we bought some bud, we'll smoke again. And then you're gonna peel off that gauze from your leg, right? And I'm like, ooh, you think I could do it? And they're like, yeah, you could do it. So they start playing reggae music. We all up dancing. Mind you, I'm not feeling the pain because I was in pain before, but I wasn't feeling it right now because I'm high. So I'm going to take half of the strawberries and I'm going to put it in a bowl. And then I'm going to take the other half of the strawberries and I'm going to leave it for garnish and for layering. These half of the strawberries, what I'm going to do is for textural difference, I'm going to take some sugar in the raw and I'm going to put it in the strawberry so it can start developing a sauce. On top of that, I'm going to take a lemon. I'm going to pull out the seeds and I'm going to squeeze lemon juice in it. Now, if you wanted to make it boozy, this is when you would add like your vodka, like Tito's, or like some Grey Goose, Citron, whatever you want to add into your strawberries to make it boozy, but I'm not going to add any alcohol. And I'm going to let this sit on top of the stove where it's like warm because we just baked the cake. So that can start getting like saucy. And then we're going to preserve these for later. But I'm also going to squeeze lemon on the ones that we're putting aside as well, to give it like a bright flavor. So look. All right. So remember how we had this puff pastry sheet? Now we're going to bake the puff pastry. Oh my God. How do you cook this? Okay. All right. Thaw. Frozen. Keep frozen until ready to thaw. I already thawed it, but how do you bake this? Thawing pastry sheets. Using pastry. Unfold pastry on lightly floured surface. Remove parchment paper. Roll, shape, and bake as directed in recipe. You didn't tell me how to bake it though. Thaw at room temperature for 40 minutes. Heat oven to 400 Fahrenheit. Lightly grease 2 baking sheets. No, that's spinach wheels. How do you just cook the baking sheets? Oh, it's down here. Ooh. Awkward. All right. Okay. Bake for 15 minutes until bake. Oh, it's 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So I need to put it on 400. And then I need to, okay. All right, so now I know what I'm doing. Now I'm going to take this parchment paper. So, okay, guys. Now I'm mad high. I'm dancing. And basically, my friend is like, are you ready, girl, to take this gauze off? And I'm like, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. So now I'm ripping the gauze off. And because I'm so high, I'm not feeling it, right? And I'm like, hee hee hee, like we're all dancing and laughing and everything like that. And we're all having fun. And I don't know how you, yo, this sticker right here, why does this happen to me so much? Why? Look at that. And it's persistent. That sticker was hard to rip. All right. Come on. I'm going to take the parchment paper and I'm going to put it there. But did it say to spray it? Wait, hold on. Wish me luck. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God, this is intense. So now we're dancing, we're all mad high, and I start ripping off the gauze, and they're like, ew, look, ew, gross, 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 right? Oh my God. This is not what I thought it was. Oh my. I was not prepared for this. Today, Michelle was not prepared. What is new? Oh my God, so much is happening. Put this back, Michelle, if you're not going to use it. All right, there you go. Put that back in there. Take this and put that there. All right. I'm going to dry the knife. Then I'm going to cut this dough. Oh no. Oh, you know what? Don't even try to fight with that, Michelle. Just wrap it. All right, so now we're gonna take the extra phyllo dough, the puff pastry. This is puff pastry. Put that in there. And I'm gonna show y'all what I got going on right here. Because we did this the lazy way. I took the parchment paper and I laid out the puff pastry on it. I feel like no, I'm not gonna add the spray. Now this has to go in the oven for 15 minutes. Set the timer for 15 minutes. Oh no. I did hours. We would have been here forever. All right, 15 minutes. Now let's do some cleanup, some damage control. We're gonna put the strawberries back. We're gonna put this back. Oh my God, I have to make the cream. I didn't even tell y'all that I'm making cream. All right, so let's start making the cream. Since I'm bougie, I wanted to make fresh whipping cream. So for your fresh whipping cream, you're gonna need a chilled bowl. You're going to need whipping cream, confectioner's sugar, so now we're dancing to reggae music. I'm high, I start ripping off the gauze. They're like, ew, 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 gross, gross, gross. We all start laughing. I don't feel the pain. And they're like, you know what? We should go to the beach to see the sunset. So we wind up going to the beach to see the sunrise, not the sunset, the sunrise. We go to to Far Rockaway to see the sunrise. Mind you, I had just ripped off the gauze. My wound is fresh, but I don't feel the pain because I'm high. We wind up spending half of the day in the beach. I go home, and finally when I lay on the bed next to my friend, I feel like the mattress is sinking in on me. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, how is he like sitting normal? Why am I sinking? Why is this happening? And then I start grabbing onto his shirt, but I'm so high I can't talk, and I feel like I'm doing this, and I'm like, help me. And my friend's like, girl, you okay? He's like, yo, chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out. Like, calm down, calm down. What's wrong with you? And I'm like, how am I sinking and you're not sinking? And he's like, you're not sinking. Calm down. Just breathe. Just breathe. You're freaking out right now. And I'm like, I'm sinking into the bed. I don't know how I'm sinking into the bed. And he's like, just calm down. Like, you're too high right now. Like, just relax. Like, calm down. And it was terrible. So I'm going to take this cream and I'm going to put it in the bowl. Like half of it. Then I'm going to start whipping it. All right. Now I'm going to add some confectioner sugar. And you just keep adding confectioner sugar until you feel like I've never made... My phone is dying. Oh no, this is a fail. This is not turning into whipping cream. Help me. What do I do? Put more sugar in it? Okay, this is an epic fail. All right, I'm gonna just let it go and see what happens. This is an epic fail. Hold me. All right. I think that's an epic fail, guys. Let me charge my phone. Oh, no, there's no charger over there. All right. I don't think I have a whisk attachment. I don't have a whisk attachment. Ow! My puff pastry looking mad cute. Let me see what some of y'all suggestions are saying. Well, this was an epic fail, but we're going to put it in the freezer. And we have a backup, so do not worry. Let's clean the kitchen while we're at it. All right. So look, now the strawberries have developed sauce. See that? That's exactly what we want, is for it to develop its own natural sauce. Oh my God, no. Okay, so there goes the cake, right? But we need to wait because we need to measure it out. Don't worry, we're going to put this all together. Oh, I also wanted... We'll figure that out later. Doesn't matter. So that was the first time I got high. Then I wound up going to sleep and then like I never did it again for years afterwards. Add vanilla. Add vanilla. Add vanilla into the thing. Okay. Into the strawberries or into the cream. Add vanilla into my cream. Okay. Let's try this again. You said add vanilla? Okay. Okay. Then we're going to try it again. me up a little bit. Not really, guys. It's not thickening it up. All right, I have one thing that might save this. I heard that you're supposed to like put this. I'll put an ice pack underneath it. Guys, this is crazy. This is gonna be an hour-long video. I don't think it's happening. All right, so that's not happening. So we're just gonna leave that at that. That's our puff pastry. We're gonna take that out of the oven now, which honestly looks perfect. So now we're gonna roughly measure the same circumference of cake. Now, the cake was supposed to be a lot cooler, but it's not because it's freshly baked. But let's just assemble. And we're going to assemble our pastry on this beautiful cutting board that I got as a gift from one of the House of Realness members. And I'm going to take one of these puff pastries and cut it in. Oh! Make me. I mean, it just came out of the oven, Michelle. So I'm going to cut that in half with a knife. And I'm going to try not to touch it. And I'm going to put that layer there. Then I am going to take a layer of cake. And I'm going to cut that in half. And I'm going to put a layer of cake. So guys, you see? Puff pastry, cake. Now I'm going to take the strawberries and sauce, and I'm going to put the strawberries on top of the cake. Make sure you sprinkle the sauce on it. So that's what it's going to look like. The mess that I have to clean is not even funny. So because I use lactose milk in my cake, I'm going to use lactose Breyers ice cream. I'm going to add a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top of the cake because I don't have any cream. Then I'm going to take some of the fresh strawberries and place that on top of the ice cream because I want that freshness. If it just stays, no, please just stay on there. Okay, it's falling off, but we're going to move on. Maybe I should just put it on the top layer since that's not working out for me. Oh my God, this cake is so moist. Now we're going to put that on top of there. Then I'm just going to go ahead and put the fresh strawberries because it's not working out. Right? Then I'm going to put the top of this puff pastry, but I'm going to put a scoop of ice cream first. Could this please stay together for the video? I mean, it's like an hour long already. Might as well be worth something. Then you're going to take a little bit of the powdered sugar. Wow. Mad beautiful. Mad beautiful. Yo, a deconstructed Bougie Strawberry shortcake live. And it only took me an hour and 45 minutes. Yo. Let's eat this actually because this is good. How do you eat this? You know I never made this before. I don't know what this is going to taste like. This could taste like caca. How do you eat this? Mmm. Mmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I need you to know that I did that. That's mad good. That's mad good. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Hold on. That cake. Mm. Oh my God. Hold on. Mm. When I tell you the lemon really brings out a brightness and the cake is so moist and the strawberries are so fresh. Mmm. This is the best bougie strawberry shortcake you'll ever have in your life. Mm-hmm. And that's on period. Mmm. And because you made it with the lactose milk, you're not going to go to the bathroom. So you feel less guilty. Don't act like I'm the only one that be looking at those vegan pastries. And I'll be like, if it's vegan, that must mean it's diet. No, that don't mean it's diet. It's still made with sugar. Sugar is vegan. So I'll be telling myself like, okay, if I made it with lactose milk, that means that it's low fat, right? So I could eat more. If only life worked that way. Oh, powdered sugar on my nose. Y'all mad cute for telling me after I bust this cake down. Y'all shouldn't have watched me do this. Oh, wow. All right, guys. I'm going to end the video here because I have a humongous mess in the kitchen to clean. So until next time, bendiciones. And that's the story about the first time I got high. It only took me an hour and a half. Bendiciones.